Well, anybody that watches this channel knows I'm a huge Porsche enthusiast. I've owned 4 Porsches, a couple of old 911s, air-cooled cars. And when my buddy at Core Motor Cars here in Vancouver phoned up and said, would you like to take out a 2016 Spyder? I'm like, yeah, because these cars really are quite rare. So they only come out roughly every 5 years. And when the allotment of the Spyders is done. They're not making any more of them. So 2011, they brought out a Spyder. This is the 2016 model. They just brought out the 2020. And by the way, you can't buy a brand new one. That allotment is finished. And we're probably going to have to wait another 5 years in order to get a Spyder. So what is this car? Well, it's really quite unique. First of all, it comes down to the fully manual roof. I'll show you it down, and I'll show you putting it up. You get a much bigger trunk covering around the back. The engine cover and trunk cover over the back is elongated. It's all integrated into one, giving it a very sleek fastback look. When you open that up, you then have access to the cloth roof. You put the cloth roof in place, and then you have these 2 little sort of buttresses that go down the back over the Spyder signature there. And then when you use the electric lock in the front, it locks the back as well. So it's all sort of integrated. It's more work, but it certainly has a unique look and flavor that you just don't get with many Porsches. In addition, this is a high performance car. It's basically built in tandem with the GT4. So you can have more of a track ready car with the GT4, or you can have this maybe more stylish version. I love it with this color combination, silver on the outside, red and black in the inside, absolutely perfect. So I'm gonna get in, I'm gonna tell you why this might not be a bad buy as an alternative to buying a 911, and I'll tell you why. Okay, before we get going, I just want to talk a little bit about the inside of this car. It's got the burgundy red with the alcantera. The owner, the guy who ordered this car, decided to go with the leather steering wheel and the leather shifter. It's probably not a bad move. The alcantera that comes with these cars can show wear, especially with the oil on your hands, so that's going to look good for a long time. You get the cloth door handle pulls, real lightweight throwback, but other than that, it's very Boxster-esque of this era, 2016, the big exception being Spyder across the back. So I'm going to tell you a little story about why I think this car might not be a bad way to go for somebody that is thinking about buying a 911. Now, Zach, why would you buy a Boxster over a 911? Well, I have been saying for years that I believe that the Boxster, especially the Boxster S and above, which of course this qualifies as, are the best value in the Porsche lineup. Now, everything is relative. You actually have to have the means to buy a car like this, and it's really quite rare. As I mentioned at the beginning, they only make them every 5 years, and when they're sold out, they're sold out. So what you have with this car is a bit of exclusivity, or quite a bit of exclusivity, but you also get, in my opinion, one of the best values in the Porsche world. On top of that, you get a wonderful sounding car, you get a wonderful handling car, but you also get a convertible with 2 trunks. But this is the part I love. We're gonna go and do the tunnel test in a little bit, but that does not get old, my friends. And I just was recently on the launch of the new GTS, the Boxster GTS, which now has a 4-liter engine. It doesn't sound like this. They made it quite a bit quieter. Now, granted, it sounds good, but it doesn't sound nasty and angry like this car. And then you get the balance of a mid-engine car, just perfectly balanced through the corner, exit. Fantastic, fantastic. Love it. Also love the fact that it's a manual transmission. Here's the other thing. The engines are different. So the new GTS, the GT4, and so on have a 4-liter engine. This is the 3.8, but with 375 horsepower and instantaneous acceleration with the Sport Chronos package, either in Sport or Sport Plus. Take this to the bank. There is no shortage of power on this car, none whatsoever. It is up to the job, and I would almost say the average driver wouldn't be able to tell the difference. If you're right on the edge and you're Hans Stuck, yeah, but the average cat, not a chance. And this car was quite unique for several years because, as you probably aware, the year after this car was introduced in 2017, they brought out the 718, the 4-cylinder Boxster in Cayman. Now, great handling car, not as loved by enthusiasts. So if you're looking for an era, a Boxster that looks great, this is certainly one of them. You can get the 6-cylinder with the Boxster, Boxster S, and then higher. But after that, it was only the exclusive limited edition models. And that's the thing that this era of Boxster has in its favor, is 6-cylinders were standard equipment, and that's no longer the case. So somebody's thinking of buying their very first Porsche sports car. 911 obviously bubbles to mind. There's a lot of them on the road. They certainly are not as exclusive as they used to be. This car would certainly stand out. You would drive it, you would have it, and you probably wouldn't see another one or many of them on the road in an entire year. It's kind of a unique vehicle that you're just not gonna see. And boy, does that sound good. What a weapon. I love it. I love it. The sound of a car is so important. The sound of a sports car is crucially important. Off to the tunnel test. Okay, we're coming up to the tunnel. Tunnel test. Exhaust is open. Let's have at it. Oh, holy crap! That is loud. Okay, let's do that again. Here we go. Here we go, here we go. RPM of just auditory orgasm. I love it. Holy crap. The new one doesn't sound like this, I'll tell you that. Honey, I'm home. Oh, that's great. I love it. So once again, thanks to Core Motor Cars or Core Cars here in Vancouver. Head over to the website and have a look. I always have very cool inventory for letting me have this Spyder for the day. It's a unique car that only comes around every 5 years. And if you're somebody that's in the market for a Porsche, this is something that sure sounds fantastic. It drives beautifully. It looks super cool and not gonna see many of them on the road. I love the fact it's a manual. I like the color combo. I like it a lot.